What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Welcome back to another episode of Seahawks Now, your home for all things daily Seahawks news, rumors, and updates. Today, Gierre Alexander is available, but should the Seahawks be interested in the veteran cornerback? Is he a perfect fit in Seattle, as many are suggesting? I think he might be. Plus, the Seahawks have made punter Michael Dixon the most expensive punter in the National Football League. And we talk about an unfortunate injury to one of the Seahawks running backs, Kenneth Walker III, dealing with an ankle injury. All that and more right here on Seahawks Now. But first, if you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below. It really helps the channel out. Alrighty, let's get into things. Could cornerback Gierre Alexander be who the Seattle Seahawks have been waiting for? This is brought up this morning on Brock and Salk. Obviously, the Pro Bowler, two-time Pro Bowler, out of the 2018 NFL Draft, Gierre Alexander was just released by the Green Bay Packers. I still think he's a good player. We're going to talk about whether or not he'd be a good fit for the Seahawks. According to Brent Stecker for Seattle Sports, if there's one spot on the Seahawks roster that they could use a veteran addition, it's cornerback. And suddenly there appears to be a new option on the market. According to multiple reports, the Packers are set to release 28-year-old Gierre Alexander. The two-time Pro Bowler has 12 career interceptions over 7 pro seasons. The Seahawks currently have Reek Woolen and Devon Witherspoon as their starting cornerbacks. Josh Jobe is kind of that third guy, and maybe Nick Emenwari, the safety, who can also play some cornerback. The Seahawks did look at Shaquille Griffin and Rasul Douglas, but they didn't actually sign either of them. So could their patience actually pay off now that Gierre Alexander has come available? Mike Salk and Michael Bumpus were talking about it on 710. Michael Bumpus says it's an interesting one because you're looking at what the great teams do and they acquire talent. You look at the way Philadelphia acquires talent. The Rams do it all the time. The Niners get into the mix as well. He says, I think you should take a real good look at him. The only knock on him is that he just can't stay healthy. And yeah, that's true, especially over the past couple of seasons. Gierre Alexander was limited to 7 games in 2023. He was then limited to 7 games again in 2024. And in 2021, he only played in 4 games. However, the 2 seasons that he was healthy, 2022, he played 16 games, and in 2020, he played 15 games. And it just so happens that he was a Pro Bowler in both of those seasons. So if he's healthy, he's a Pro Bowler. If he's not healthy, he's pretty much off the field and just a waste of your money. And that's where it comes down to it, right? Is it worth paying him if he's not potentially going to be able to see the field? Now, the nice thing about the roster is nobody's really excited about Josh Jobe. This is what Michael Bumpus says. He says if you were to get an Alexander and he were to get banged up, you have a guy who can take his shoes. You sign a 1 or 2 year deal, a prove-it type of deal, similar to Sam Darnold. I think you take a look at it because it's about acquiring talent. And we know what Mike Macdonald can do with talent. Yeah, obviously we do. We know what Mike Macdonald can do with talent. He is really good, especially with defensive players. And I think Gierre Alexander is really talented. But again, can he stay on the field? There's a reason why the Packers didn't want him. Again, he says, the Ravens, the 49ers, the Eagles, they do a great job at picking up these great players, and that's true. But the Packers are also part of that conversation. Green Bay is one of the most well-run teams in the league over the past, 20, 30 years. And you have to wonder, is there a reason why they don't want Gierre Alexander? Last year, he did get 2 interceptions in 7 starts. In 2022, he came away with 5 interceptions in 16 starts. Also finished the season with 2 touchdowns. He allowed 2 touchdowns. He didn't score any. My bad. 56 tackles. He had a good season. Now, is he the best cornerback in football? No. He was All-Pro, a second-team All-Pro back in 2022, though. So, yeah, a good player, for sure. For sure, a good player. 1 pick six actually came last year. It was his first pick six of his career. By the way, 70 passes defended in his career. That's really good to see. Approximate value of 37, which is fine. It's not incredible, but it's fine. He's not going to come off the edge and rush. He does have 1.5 career sacks, but that was back in 2020. But yeah, I mean, the big thing that really sticks out is 2022. He was 25 years old. He played in 16 games. He made 5 interceptions, defended 14 passes, and came away with 56 tackles, which is really good. Can he ever get back to 2022 levels? I don't know. It's tough because on the one hand, he's only 28 years old, and I think he can still be a really effective football player. On the other hand, can he stay healthy? Can he stay on the field? And have the injuries over the past 2 seasons affected what he can do going forward? I think that is the big question. So we'll see. We will see. All right, let's move on to the next topic today. The Seahawks have extended Michael Dixon, making him the highest punter in NFL history. This is huge, and I think this kind of went unnoticed a little bit. Michael Dixon has been really, really good. He's just agreed to a 4-year extension with the team that will tie him to the Seattle Seahawks through the 2029 season. The deal is worth $16.2 million. The average annual salary is the highest at the position. He beats out Jaguars punter Logan Cook as the highest punter in the league, highest paid punter in the league. Dixon joined Seattle back in 2018. He's played every single game for them since. He was an All-Pro as a rookie. His career averaged 42.9 net yards per punt. And he has been maybe one of the best punters in the National Football League, one of the best in the history of the National Football League. I remember his first season when he kind of just took the league by storm because he was averaging so many yards per punt. In fact, in his career, obviously, we just said the net yards per punt is about 42. Throughout his entire career, he's averaging 48.2 yards per punt, which is really, really good. It's the best in Seahawks history, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the 3rd highest in NFL history. So yeah, he's clearly a really good player. I will say he has only made 1 Pro Bowl, and it was his rookie season. And he also has only been an All-Pro once, and that was, again, his rookie season. Last year, he punted 76 times. He averaged 49.4 yards per punt. His net yards per punt, 43.3. Approximate value, 4. Good player. Definitely a good player. Is he worth it being the highest paid punter in the league? Again, I don't know. I mean, is he the best punter in the league? You could debate that. But again, he hasn't made a Pro Bowl since 2018. He hasn't been an All-Pro since 2018. But what he has been is consistent, and his numbers have actually improved since his rookie season. Last year, he did allow 284 return yards from his punts, which was the most since his rookie season. But at the same time, he's averaging almost 50 yards per punt, 43.3 net yards. Pretty darn good, if you ask me. Pretty darn good. And he ended up with 40.8% of his punts down to inside the 20. That's really good. That's 31 of them. Touchbacks per punt was at 11.8%, which is, again, pretty good. His longest punt was 68 yards. His career long is actually 73 yards, which he set back in 2023. Yeah, so, again, really good punter. Glad that he gets to stick around in Seattle. And, again, I mean, $16.2 million is a lot of money, but it's over 4 years, so it's about $4 million a season, which is the most for any punter. So congratulations, Michael Dixon, getting paid. All right, let's move on to the final topic today. Kenneth Walker is dealing with an ankle injury, and every time I hear this, it just sets my alarm bells off because the Seahawks, it just feels like K9 has never been able to stay healthy. I know it's really unfortunate for the Seahawks that they have such a talented running back who just always seems to be dealing with injuries. But apparently he is dealing with an ankle injury. That is the latest update on him. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he's able to play. Obviously, the mini camp phase is almost over. And then we move on to a little bit of rest before summer camp starts in July. So, yeah, who knows what's going to happen there. This is according to Field Goals. Gierre Alexander, obviously his season did end with an ankle injury, so that's why I think it's a little bit maybe frustrating for him because obviously is he dealing with the same injury or is it another injury to the same ankle? Last year he was on the IR. He suffered that ankle injury against the Vikings. Ended up with a career low 573 rushing yards in 11 games. And yeah, it is only June, but again, to deal with another ankle injury already. This is Mike McDonald said he's working through an ankle, but he should be fine. That's good to hear. But again, it's also kind of discouraging to hear because this guy has been fighting through so many injuries, and it just feels like it's one thing after another. And it does make me wonder, is it a lingering thing from the previous injury, or is it a new injury? I don't know which would actually be worse. Probably worse if it's a new injury. But if it's lingering, you have to wonder, why is it still lingering? That game against the Vikings was in December. Either way, hopefully he will be healthy, because if not for him, the Seahawks running back core, you do still have Zach Charbonnet, but other than that, I'm not a huge fan of the running back core outside of him. We'll see what Damian Martinez can do, and see if Kenny McIntosh can do anything. Either way, guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. As always, if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel for more content, and until next time, as always, go Seahawks.